Well, 3, 2, 1. I think now we're live probably.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Yes. Okay, it's
Sorry,
live.
I hate what
Excellent connection. Let's see. Okay, we're live. We're actually live. I'm gonna be right back. I'm also gonna write on Discord. I don't think nobody is here. I think we need to share on a link on Discord maybe. Let me
social.
Did you put it already?
Yeah. No, not yet.
Oh, but it comes out. Why? Polyglots Talk. There's your thumbnail, but it's fine. I don't know why the thumbnail is like that. It's fine. Well, okay. It's written polyglots.
Ready?
Okay, I'll be right back,
Yeah.
babies.
Alright.
Okay, see you soon.
Let me get what's it.
Oh, it's so weird having wires.
Hey, dude.
So it's like I can go places with things in my head.
Yes.
And it's so strange.
I would.
That's not normal.
Oh my god. I'm back.
Oh, they can see us.
Well, we're live.
Yeah, I thought it was BRB screen. Hi, guys. Hi, Jess. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I was grabbing my tea. I'm here now. Welcome, everybody. Oh, Jessica.
Welcome.
Hi.
Jessica. I love how the bot sends you a DM when you say
Yes.
to remind you
I
that
know.
you. So nice.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yes.
Yes. I'm putting on Twitter now that we are live, friends, for the Polyglot Talk.
Yes. We're gonna wait for some people to join. Excited for this talk as I self-study languages while both working and studying in university. What a mood! What a mood!
Yes.
Yes.
Very mood.
Oh my gosh.
We're all
mood.
stressed, all busy.
Very moody.
Okay.
All stress all the time.
Yes. Oh, yeah, a little dark. Sorry about that. It's because, you know what? The contrast difference between my face and Elmo's face, the camera cannot... I am dark. I'm just noticing that Elmo is not dark.
That's racist.
No.
Logitech.
White boy, I see.
Yeah. I was thinking, oh, but the camera setting is the auto setting is so weird. I realized it's fighting between the two of us. For babies, okay.
Hi Tanya, hi Maxi-chan, hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
And we can open the stream on the iPad so I can read the comments
that's
easier.
a good idea.
Smart.
What is up with my... Ray! I ate sushi at lunch. It was a year.
Yes, I saw!
Oh,
congratulations!
I'm so happy. Yo, もう本当に幸せだよ。幸せ。幸せです。
Yeah, I was surprised because most of the restaurants are closed in Italy, right? Did they just open recently, or?
So yeah, they opened recently. You can only eat outside and only at lunch. So basically, usually it costs a little bit less. Yeah, it costs a little bit less if it's lunchtime. But since it's COVID, we cannot go at dinner, so it costs like it's dinner, but it's lunch in a way, and you can only sit outside.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think it's a good way because anyways it's warm, so it's nice to be outside, and otherwise, like, because takeaway like sushi, you cannot have like fixed price, you can only pay for what you get. So it gets very expensive. So it's just nice to have the option, yeah. So I'm happy.
Cool. Amazing.
I saw that too. It looks so nice, especially having a cold asahi in the sun. Yes. Yep.
Asahi. Asahi.
It was like,
shout out to Asahi.
No, we're not sponsored, but sponsor us, Asahi. But yeah, no, it was very nice. Haven't had a beer in such a long time as well, and it's like, you know, when you get sushi, it's kind of weird to like drink wine or whatever else, like other than water. It's just like it calls for a beer. So I was like, yes. Oh my god, how are you guys doing this Saturday? Are you guys feeling like, are you having a relaxed day, or are you studying today? I am having a relaxed day, honestly. What about you? You too?
I think I'm trying to have a balanced day where I'm relaxing but also doing stuff like productive stuff. Like I'm trying to set up OBS and like streaming things today.
Yeah.
Because I also want to stream things.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are we gonna have study streams with Elmo?
We are gonna have study streams with Elmo.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's so exciting. Are you guys excited?
But now I have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what accountability is.
Yes.
Like when I said that I was streaming like every day, every Friday, like the study with me. At one point, it's not even me anymore. Like people want to come, and so I am forced to do it. Like even if I don't want to study. So like that's good for yourself.
That's amazing.
Can I say that Tristan messaged me last Saturday and said, "Where's your live stream? Don't you do Polyglot Talk first Saturday every month?"
Did you hear the comments?
So, and I was like, "How did you remember that?"
Such dedication.
That.
Dedication, yo.
Yeah.
But Tristan's been coming to like everything.
Yeah, nowadays I think because
this last week.
Yeah, starting recently. I think he wanted to participate more and whatnot. You know, it's nice. And for me today, I'm just I'm trying to finish loose end things, because here's the thing: I have to go back to Jamaica like in a month or after, so that's looming after my exam, right? So I don't want to like spend all the time on the exam and then like the week of or the week after I have to just figure out what everything I have to do, right? So I'm trying to finish like all of the general setup things for my like work things and my schedule for the end of the month and next month, and announcements, blah blah blah, and figure out my flights and dates and all of these different things, and then so I can just not think about it until the time comes, so that I can focus on studying. But yeah, it's so difficult. It's so difficult because it feels like the work never ends, you know, which is a great a great segue into our conversation today, which is balancing work and university with language studies and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
also
like
whipping my butt.
I saw, by the way, Phil-chan, hello. I am so excited for this topic. I've been struggling balancing self-study and uni lately. This is also the topic of the video that I'm gonna publish next week. It is about how I managed to do all the stuff that I do and still sleep at night. Not in the way that I do
I'm
bad
excited
things.
for that video.
Yeah, no,
I want to see that video.
I am excited too. Honestly. I am excited. It's like I hope that I can also get some inputs today about that, like some ideas on how to also maybe how to say improve also my ways to do things, because I think in this kind of things you never finish learning. Let's say you always have something to implement from what other people do. Some things may work, some things may not, but it's nice to try a lot of things, I guess, and find your best way. So I see okay, we have 10 viewers, so we could also start talking about this, what you say.
Yes, I see I see 12 on my end. So
All right.
yes, hello, welcome.
Yes. Average of 11.
Is it one of them you though?
Yes, even off the number. Now it says 11, so there we go.
Hey,
but yeah, yeah, but I completely agree with you. The thing is that Anna, that
Yes.
it's always a journey and always something that we have to revisit because of the fact that our responsibilities also continuously change. So we're not always doing the same things. We are also not always in the same humor, or how we feel about our emotions is not always in the same line. And so we constantly have to be revisiting what our priorities are, what we have space for, and how we can make language a priority in busy times and busy lives. And so this is something that I talk a lot with my coaching students as well, because unfortunately, some people think you can I'll just make my language schedule this week and I'll be set for the next like 3 months, 4 months or whatever. And I think most people can speak from experience that you try to do that. We've all tried to do that and then been like, yes, that's it. This is going to be great. I'm going to be so responsible. And then 2 weeks later and you're already like, wow.
Yeah.
No,
for real.
Yep. I think, what you said, like, it's great to have, like to organize things like that and be like, yes, like having goals. We were talking about monthly goals as well in the accountability group this week. And I think it's nice to have some ideas of what you want to accomplish, but also I think there should be some kind of flexibility, right? We were saying to be elastic, like an elastic, right? To be able to adapt a little bit to what life has for you, because sometimes life happens as well, and we don't want to live our life in the constant fear in a way, or like guilt of not having done what we are supposed to be doing, especially because we are the ones that set the rules, right? Since it's our self-study in this case. So we have like fixed things that are in our life. We have work, maybe we have university study, and we may have some kind of control, some form of control over that, over how much time we use for those activities. But we want to make language study a priority, but also something that we do with passion and because we want to do it, because it's something that makes us feel happy, like what we're doing. We don't want this to feel like a burden or like we're not enough all the time, or we're guilty because we didn't study 10 hours tomorrow or something like that, right? So I think that's an important premise, like thing that we have to think at the beginning of all of this. So
no, I definitely relate to that, as someone who like struggles a lot with keeping accountable, and especially like planning my study time and things like that. It's like I'm so bad at it. So like in my head I'm like, oh yes, this is perfect schedule. I can study 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, every single week. But then like you realize that that's not what is now I can only think of Swedish words. Hållbart. Sustainable. It's not sustainable in the long term. So it's not sustainable. So you basically have to be able to roll with the punches that life deals you, which is more easily said than done. Like, and it's like Anna said, it is a learning process where like you're constantly revising and reviewing not only your study schedule, but your sort of approach to your time and how you sort of split it up, and find that also difficult balance between all of these things that you want to do. Because especially I think us here, we have so many different hobbies and interests along with language learning, along with studying or working. So it really takes a toll on your mental health. So it's important to like, sometimes it's okay to just do the bare minimum, but as long as it's a conscious decision you're making.
Yeah, and that's something. Yeah, exactly. I think that's really important, is like deciding where your lines are. So what is the bare minimum for you? What is a really good day? And not just in a fantasy realm,
Right.
but actually test it and say to yourself, wow, I was in a really good mood today, and I had snacks and took breaks, and I was able to do 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever it is that you were able to do, or less, 1 hour. And you can
30
say,
minutes.
this is a good day for me. 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And you can say, this was a great day for me. This is what it feels like to have a good session for me. And then you have to understand that that is impossible to recreate every day. So if that's your top standard is to have 1 hour study of really good focus, absorbing things and feeling, vibing, and then after that you're done or you're tired, right? If that's your top, this is how I do when I'm having a good day, then you must know that this is the good day standard. You can't expect that to be recreated all the time. So once you start defining what is your good day, and you define what is your low minimum, I'm feeling like shit, but at least I can do this day, then you can stop beating yourself up for when on your bad days you're not doing your best day. You can see that standard and see that framework of how it works for you a lot. Like you can understand yourself better and hold yourself to your standard instead of someone else's standard that you might see online or on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah,
I think that's also very
I was just saying that I
I
was just saying that I completely agree. Please go on, 𝕤𝕣𝕐. Say.
No, you brought up social media, and I think that's a very important potential issue for many, especially those who participate in like the study community online on Instagram and so on, because like you're constantly sort of seeing all of these people like sort of showing off their routines, and you assume that you have to do exactly the same thing that they do. Like the comparison trap is so easy to fall into when you have the sort of added
sorry, 1 second, our headset died. So can you get the other earphones? Yeah. So I won't be able to hear you, Anna, at this moment.
Fine.
But I'm going to keep talking while Elmo grabs the new headphones, because I muted myself so that we can plug in the other earphones.
Okay.
Hold up.
In the meantime,
I was using these Bluetooth earphones all morning.
Okay. So in the meantime, sorry, let me say hi to the chat. I see that Brooke-chan is here. 𝕤𝕣𝕐, hi, hello, and welcome. And I'm gonna read your messages. So Tanya-chan said that I would be curious how others structure their days balancing working and studying. I will also talk about how I balanced mine when I was working, like a 9-to-5 job, later. So I invite everybody to write in chat a little bit how they structure their day, maybe, so we can have at least an idea of how what point you're at, and maybe we can comment like to each other to see if we have any advice or any things that we can say to each other. It would be nice. And 𝕤𝕣𝕐 said, I like to make 2 generic day plans. A day A, where I block some time for studying to my routine, and a day B, where I focus on other stuff. Similar to that good day standard, I guess. So if I'm in the mood for other hobbies or just don't have the energy for studying, I have a built-in backup plan ready to go that I can use, and now I won't feel any guilt or anything. I think that's a good thing. Like to we were talking about this also for other things like not related to language. It's always good to have kind of a plan or like a list of things to keep in mind when you're not at your best, so you don't like just roll up in bed and feel like you're a potato and cannot do anything. Some kind of things that you can, like rely on, like could be as easy as making a cup of tea and start, from there, build up something else, or like maybe just, open Duolingo and do 1 lesson on Duolingo or something like that. It could be like a good routine to have, to like when you're feeling like, today I don't really have energies, but I will try to do this one little thing, and so I will feel like I did something that day, and it's not I won't feel like I'm a failure or something. So I really think that this is a good idea, Vidal-chan. And Tanya-chan saying hello. There's Michelle here. Hi. Hi and welcome, Michelle-chan. Oh, we invited everybody to... Sorry, your volume is a little low now for some reason. So let me check if I can change that from here.
Wait, how about now?
Oh yeah, now it's better.
Okay. I just turned up the mic input. It's still okay?
Yeah, I think it's fine now. Let me just check real quick on OBS. Can you talk for me? Okay, you can answer in the meantime. I will adjust.
Yes. Great. Yeah, actually, yeah, I was thinking what Alex was describing is exactly what I was suggesting. Having a model for what is a really good day and having a model for what is a not so good day. And when you have that model, you should try to really test it out and use what happens as an example, and not try to create one before testing it out. So for example, if you feel bad, say, okay, I'm feeling shitty today, so I'm gonna see what I'm able to get done today. Or I know that last week I was on my period and I felt really bad and I ended up doing this. So use a real life example of what happens when you're not feeling that great, or what happens when you're feeling really awesome. Don't look for somebody else's standard and then say, well, I think on a good day I should be able to study 8 hours, right? Because that might be somebody, but it also might not be you. And it's not good to try and start with someone else's standards. It's best to start with your own. And how Anna was saying earlier is that the aim in building a habit, especially one that is sustainable while doing university and while working, is gonna be you starting with the smallest increment. So you're not actually starting with the goal of the highest increment, you're starting with consistency of the smallest increment. So identifying what your good day is, I mean, you start from your bad day, and then maybe more often you'll have less of your bad day, more of your mid-range. Then after you have your mid-range, you might have never even experienced, say, a 4-hour study session. Okay, let's say you've never been able to do a 4-hour study session and live to tell the tale. Then that means
Shots fired.
that means perhaps even though that's true, we're not saying that it's impossible to get there. So you could get there if you want to get there, but first you have to master the 30-minute study session first of all, before you can even think to slowly being able to expand your capability to a longer amount. So it makes more sense to define what you have right now. What can I do at my best capacity? See if I can get that happening like 3 times a week or something like that. Then maybe testing to see if you can push your bill a little bit. And even so, you have to be careful because you don't want to cause burnout, which will take you back 10 steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about burnout another time, so if you want to see something about that, we have the live stream saved as well. But let me just say hi. Sorry, I want to involve the chat a little bit because it's nice to know what everybody does as well. So Tanya-chan said, the minimum I do for languages each day is reviewing my flashcards. That's something I do almost religiously by now, even if this is the only thing I've done that day, it's fine. Honestly, that's how habits are built, and I love this because it happened to me as well with some things that I do. Like at first you're like, oh my god, this is so weird, you know, you're not really sure when you can do the things, but then at one point maybe you decide like, okay, I don't know, before dinner I review my Anki cards or whatever it is, or I do my Duolingo first thing in the morning when I'm in bed or something like that, you know. And then at one point you will feel weird if you don't do it. So you want to reach that point where you feel like you want to do it because it's part of your routine. So that would be the goal, right? And it's good to like when you reach that point that you feel like you want to do it, and you have to do it in a way, then you can build
Anna,
up.
I can't hear you.
Yes. Is there each? Sorry, my browser lost its connection. Like, I think everybody could hear me. Just you guys couldn't hear me. I was saying, yeah, when you get comfortable with a habit like that, then it's the time when you can actually add something else in a way. Especially if you are doing many other things at the same time. You don't want to start and be like, yes, you know, like right now I'm gonna study Duolingo in the morning, I'm gonna study 1 hour in the afternoon, I'm gonna, you know, watch this movie every night until, you know, that is gonna be unsustainable for you.
Yeah, for real. It's like you're trying to go from like A to F like straight away. But like you have to go linearly.
That's actually something that we all try to do. Oh, yeah. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's languages or something else, but we want to skip steps so badly, and we
just want to see the progress.
Yeah, that's that's also a huge part of why we're so obsessed with productivity Twitter or like language. I mean, part of it is the community, but the unhealthy part is also, hey, can you tell me how to skip all of these steps that I don't want to go through? And unfortunately,
I would love to do the same, but I don't want to do any work. Can you have any tips?
I'm gonna rant about this every live stream, but like I learned Japanese in 7 days videos. Like, no, that's not something that you. I want to do a reel about it, Ray. I need to find the perfect audio for that because it pisses me off so much. Like, it's not possible. Why do people do this? It's like, wait, this is not for real.
You can learn hiragana in 7 days, but that's about it.
You can, yes, but I'm gonna make a video like that at one point, just to troll these YouTubers, because it's like there's this culture on the productive side of the Studygrams or YouTube or whatever social media that you have to progress fast, and that's like the best way to show that you're smart, that you can study languages. That's the only way that you can be a polyglot, only if you know like 1,000 languages, if you study 3 languages at a time. Otherwise, you're not in, you know, like kind of, there's a lot of that. There's also a lot of not that, of course, but like, we feel like we want to live up to the standard that these people put in a way, but that's not healthy. That's not sustainable. That's most of the time it's clickbait. Like, it doesn't even work for them, or sometimes you know. So don't, like, whenever you see that, the only reaction that you should have is cringe. Like, any other reaction is not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
No,
exactly. That's it. But I just mean that it's definitely something that people crave. Is that people crave the skipping, and we feel like that's actually normal. Like, people are doing this, and I'm not able to do it. But the mindset: feel strong, feel confident in what you're able to do now. Like, own it, and slowly start to open your energy, open your day, open your capacity, or not, or continue doing what you're doing and slowly improve just fine. Also, I also want to go back to the comments a little bit. Michelle says, it really depends if I'm learning mode or revision mode. I'm still trying to adjust everything. But yeah, definitely balancing learning and revision mode is really important. And revision mode, say, if this is another thing about building those prototypes for what your days look like, you can have like, this is what revision looks like for me, this is what studying looks like for me, and also defining the difference, because it from both angles, sometimes you can say that it is like, okay, there is the person who always calls there is the person who takes revision and feels like revision is nothing, doesn't want to revise, feel like they need to study all the time, which is overkill, because revision is extremely important too, especially if you want a deep and nuanced understanding of what you're studying. And you need to do passive studying in order to also get that nuanced understanding. Those are important components. And then you have the exact opposite person, usually no one in between, who only does revision, and then calls it studying, right? Or says that, like, or isn't necessarily completely honest with themselves, and so they stay at one level for 10 years or something extreme. And so you have to define for yourself, when am I studying and also when am I reviewing, and how and when I would like to incorporate that into my day.
I think this is a good distinction as well. I really like the distinction between reviewing and studying because, as you said, both are equally important. And like, you cannot just study all the time. You cannot just input new information all the time in your brain, because that's not how language learning works. It works through repetition, through getting used to some words, some constructions in grammar, some expressions that you hear or read all the time. So definitely both of them are important. Sorry, I want to say hi to Zana-chan as well, who is here. I don't think we said hello. And yes,
Hi,
I really like... Hi. I really like this distinction very much, Michelle. And I think that's also a good way, like, to be like, you know, I work all the week, like from Monday to Friday I work, but I have the weekend off, for example. It could be a good idea, for example, to have your study session, so 1 hour, 2 hours of intensive studying, like on a textbook or whatever you use as a main source for your studying. Maybe like let's say on Saturday afternoon I want to keep like this couple of hours to do the study, and then you maybe prepare, like you input some Anki cards, flashcards or something like that, or you make some notes, and you just like during the week you just do some light revising of what you studied on that day. I think that's like an amazing way of studying as well and revising, and it's not like it seems slow because it's not like, oh my god, I'm not like studying every day, I'm not learning something new every day. But this repetition progress is definitely essential when you're learning languages. You cannot expect like from yourself to learn a word as soon as you read it for the first time. You need to be able to get used to it, right? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read.
Yes, do it.
Another comment from Jazz. So I have a habit where I have certain apps that I use for languages every day, either before bed, during breaks, etc. Just in case I am too busy with work or uni, so I'm still able to keep consistency. And I also surround myself with passive input, such as the shows I watch on Netflix, the music I listen to, etc. I often am not able to spend hours a day on the languages, so this helps me feel like I'm making progress. And that's a very people really underestimate the importance of passive input. Passive input in your language routine. So that's a very good comment. Good take, Jazz.
Yes.
Yeah. And Zana was saying that she also does the same as Jazz. And for me, I would say I'm not really an app person. So I'm always really impressed by people who are able to turn apps into a motivation to do something often. We had a chat about this during one of the accountability meetings on Sunday as well. And I asked the question about apps, thinking that it would be a very kind of chill response, considering that everybody has an app on their phone for language in the language community. But actually everybody was quite passionate, like, yes, me and my streak until death. And I was like, wow, that's great, that's really great that you can find that kind of have that competitive energy and use it for your benefits. I mean, for me, I think I like to talk, for example. I really enjoy listening and talking. So something that I've been using recently, not throughout the years, but recently, last month or 2 months, is Clubhouse. And what I do is when I'm feeling really tired, the least thing that I do tends to be jump in a Clubhouse room and just kind of like lurk in a native conversation. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, if it's a language that's very difficult, or I'm just like processing and also replying by myself. So I don't actually go up on stage if I'm exhausted, obviously. I don't reply to them, but I will say to Elmo, like, what are they talking about? They're stupid, I don't like them. And I will react and try to practice language in my own in the comfort of my own space, and as my little exercise for me who doesn't like apps.
That's a good take. And I just want to say we're very similar in the sense where we both hate I shouldn't say hate. We don't hate anything. We don't like using apps to study very much, like in more gamified sort of sense of Duolingo. Like,
so yeah,
Duo could hold a gun to my head and I still wouldn't use that. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not for me. But
𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤 is taking your family hostage. What do? You don't study? I don't think so. No, but
sorry.
Bye, Mom.
Nice knowing you.
I don't use apps consistently, but it's definitely a good thing to do for me when I don't feel like using Anki, for example, because Anki is like it's kind of like intensive study in a way for me. It's revising, of course. These are all vocabulary that I already learned somewhere, but like it takes my mind, because I make my cards in a way that I have to use my mind a lot. It's not very automatic. I never put a translation in my Anki cards, so I need to like remember what the words mean. So it really takes a lot from my energies. So when I'm more like, relaxed, yes, let's do some duo challenges. I think that's the best thing for me. So I'm that kind of app user. There are also other kinds of app. You can use Hello Talk and just chat with other people. You can use Clubhouse, like Ray said, and chat, or just lurk, I guess, in native conversations. Or like I recently use a lot of Spotify in podcasts. So I used to do this when I was working as well, but now since I have to go to school every day, that time that I spend going from my house to school, I always listen to a random Swedish podcast. So I was saying with Elmo, like, I'm already getting more used to some kind of connection words like so, or like something like that, and it's precise, like these kind of things that people say all the time that are very nice to know when you want to learn how to communicate properly, that you cannot learn very much from textbooks, right? So I'm not really thinking about it. I'm not trying to understand all the words. I'm not looking up any words. Of course, I'm driving, so I cannot. But like it's already making a difference in me, like in my understanding of the language. And like I would never listen to a podcast, I don't know, maybe while I am doing other things here at home, because maybe I'm lazy, maybe I feel like I want to do something more active, I guess. But while I'm driving, why not, right? Instead of listening to just music, it's just a good habit to have, right? So I think you need to find something in your routine that you can optimize, like time-wise, I think as well. You can also listen to something while you're cooking, for example. That's something else that you could do. And find like all those, we call them like dead times in Italian. It's like that kind of time that you have to spend doing something anyways. So why not, implement something to make you feel better about what you're doing in your life, make you feel like you're doing something for yourself, right? Yes.
Yeah, we love habit stacking.
Love habit stacking. I mean, I was also thinking about this because I used to do podcasts when I was washing the dishes when I was in Jamaica to do the Swedish thing. And I think Anna mentioned something. Flow in a language is so underrated. Oh, yeah. I could rant about this a lot because but honestly, no one talks about it. When we talk about language, everybody is like, oh, I can't.
How big is your vocabulary?
Yeah, I can't speak. What's your vocab? I can't do this. I must learn more grammar. I mean, yes, of course, that is super important. But no matter how much you know, if you don't have flow, you will always feel foreign and uncomfortable. And there's a difference between like flow and accents. So you can have a foreign accent, but have the flow of the language, and then people will not feel uncomfortable when they speak to you. Like Anna, for example, she has an Italian accent, but I would never feel like, oh, what are you saying? Right? Because it's not like that. She has a natural flow of how she speaks in English. So I'm immediately comfortable to speak with her in whatever context. And so flow is so important, and it's good to actually start to develop that understanding of how the flow and rhythm and process of like a sentence, how it goes in the beginning and early stages, because then when you are filling in your gaps, you're creating sentences, you actually have things to make sentences now.
Yeah.
You already kind of know how they're supposed to connect, and how the attitude is with language, and how you're supposed to move your mouth and your face when you talk by through your exposure to these kind of things. So like Anna says, you know, when I first started Swedish, it was the exact same thing. I would copy people. I don't know what they're saying, but I just kind of like make the sound of how it goes, and I'd be like, jaha, alltså, ja. And just kind of follow the vibe. And then this actually made it a lot easier to start speaking. So I should also say that we said that we don't really like to use apps so much. That's true, I don't like to. So as soon as I can stop, I do. But in the beginning, depending on the language, it might be the easiest way to expose yourself to the language,
Definitely.
especially as a beginner. So I used Duolingo a ton when I first started using, or when I first started studying Swedish. And so yeah, I used it so much. It's probably the thing that gave me all of my base grammar, all of my base words. And when I used that, I also like and when I used that, I also couldn't speak even if they gave me sentences. Why? Because I didn't have the flow, and I didn't know, like, how are they using this? Like, I don't know, do I go up to someone and say, ha, du mjölk? I don't think you can't. It's weird.
Yes, I know what that means thanks to Duolingo.
Hey, see, Duolingo at its best.
Yeah, but
Or,
I will tell you,
everybody's first,
yeah, no, like
everybody's first Duolingo word is turtle, no?
yeah, turtle,
Well,
𝕬𝕬𝕬𝕬𝕬𝕬𝕬. I know.
Yeah.
I keep like making mistakes between turtle and strawberry. I think, I don't know why they sound similar to me. 𝕬𝕬𝕬𝕬 and your gubbe, right? I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's my synesthesia like kicking in. For me, they look similar.
So
I
maybe
don't
this
know.
will help because 𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤 actually means just earth old guy. So
Yeah, like Earth Oji-san.
yeah, so
Alright.
it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So jord means ground, right?
Yeah.
And then gubbe is like an old dude. So you'd be like, yeah, gubbe, like
Gubbe. Alright.
Yeah. Gubbe. So
Gubbe,
ja,
okay.
gubbar.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It's amazing.
now you
to-
remember, right?
Yes. Oh my god. No, I mean, I remember because I made the mistake a couple of times on Duolingo, and like, they all got angry at me, being like, why are you writing strawberry instead of turtle? I eat the turtle, like that. So, yeah, no, that's funny though. I mean, but I learned some vocabulary. That's amazing, because that tells you like how much repetition, even if you're doing it like very like on Duolingo, which seems like I'm not really learning, but like listening to the word being repeated so many times. Also, it helped me like in the beginning, especially with some of the sounds. I know it's not the best because it's kind of like a robotic voice, so you never know if it's actually correct. But
Yeah.
definitely for like hearing like the same word and noticing how some letters are pronounced in a way, for sure helped me for the very basics, let's say. Because now if I hear, like, I couldn't believe that you pronounce K like a sh sound, you know. So like getting used to that also is a process, I guess. And
Right.
I think that's good. Like, there are good things, of course. It's not like you shouldn't be like the only thing that you use to study, but it's definitely something that helps, especially if you don't have much time, like we're talking today. Especially if you only have the time that you're like maybe in the train in the morning going to work or something like that. Why not, right? Those 5 minutes per day.
Yeah.
Duolingo says 10 minutes per day of learning a language can make you go up a level or something in thought time. What can 10 minutes of social media do to you? It always says that, the little owl.
Yeah.
Gives that.
But you know, what I will give Duolingo is that it's definitely great from bringing you from A0 to A1. Like a comfortable A1, from A0 to A1. I think that this space is like Duolingo best time from to really just associate yourself with the language and stuff. And if you start like testing waters, even from Google, from Duolingo times, then you will be able to you'll be able to like make those mistakes that make you laugh, that make you remember things like Anna is talking about. For example, I will never ever 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 forget that milk in Swedish is uncountable. So you say like a milk, you don't say some milk like in English. And so one day I was at like my friend's house, and they were Swedish, so I was like, hey, can I have some milks? And he cracked up like in Swedish, you know, and he laughed. And now even Carrie, she will message me every once in a while, was like, hey, do you have any milks? And I'll be like I will never forget, never.
The milks, the revenge of the milks.
Yes.
Very.
So, Tanya said, in the forum of my kanji learning website, many people talk about the do 10 approach and doing reviews so they don't pile up, meaning do 10 reviews when waking up and when coming home, etc. And Louise said, I like this approach, and Tanya said it usually works really well. Which is, I see, 10 kanji. I was wondering, 10 what? 10 reviews of like, I thought you meant like, I'm like, how do you review like
I guess
10?
Like on Anki or something. I guess it's flashcards that you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's kanji cards. Yeah, so, and then Louise said there's no excuse to not find the time for reviewing just 10 words. Yeah. Right, so exactly, it's finding an increment. Yeah. What is your lowest increment? And one that you can enjoy. Because for everyone, it will not be the same. If I tell you learn 10 kanji every day, maybe for someone it's going to be like, I don't want to review kanji every day. Like that actually feels very stressful for me. I'm not very visual. It's kind of stressful to do this. So that might not be that person's, you know, lowest bar.
Right.
Yeah, but finding that low bar that you find fun and quizzical and nice, that makes you feel good and accomplished, because yeah.
And so it's also important to like catch yourself when you realize that you're trying actively to avoid doing the thing, because then like we all fall into doing that. So don't blame yourself so much. Just know that like there are more ways than one to revise something.
Yeah. And can I also say, I want to jump in to talk about one thing that changed my life. No, but a little bit. It made me think about how I think about my habits, because we're talking about, you know, do this every day, and like I remember when I was working full time, sometimes you work very long and you come home maybe at 10 p.m. or something. Like you have those days that just work is incredibly time consuming, and you really like go home and just you want to stay in bed. You don't want to do anything. Like those days are bound to happen. Or even if you don't work that long, maybe it's just like been the worst day of your life at work, and like you just don't want to think about anything else. You just want to curl up in bed and stay there. And I think that's fine. Like there's this rule that I saw like in a YouTube video. It says it's called the 2-day rule, and it's basically a rule that is about like if you do something that you want to do every day, but then like you don't do for one day, it's very easy to fall in the trap to be like, oh, I lost my streak, I lost it now, like how can I ever, you know, just do this every day? I lost my streak. But I think it's nice to keep this in mind. Like the 2-day rule means like if you do something every 2 days, even if you want to do it every day, but one day you skip, it's fine. Like you don't have to be like 100% precise with this kind of things. It's your life. Life happens. We were saying it at the beginning. So it's okay to be like, you know, even if you have a calendar that says put a cross every time you do this habit, and like one day you didn't do it and you're like, I didn't do it one day or something like that. Even Duolingo has a save streak thing, right?
Yes, that's true.
It's like don't beat yourself up. Like that's the best advice I think we can give you. Like don't fall into the trap of being like, I need to be like a robot, like 100% consistent, otherwise it's not gonna work, right?
Yes, 100%, 100%. I mean, the thing is also that when you have those days, you also connecting to school. So those who are doing full-time university studies or something, I mean, you're already studying a lot during the day, right? And you're spending a lot of mental energy trying to memorize things. And so you have to say you are a medicine student, a pharmacy student, you have to memorize chemistry, but you also have to memorize words. You need to be realistic with yourself, and also I think that it's better to theme days as well. Like give activities enough time to live and to absorb in a good way, because if you try to cram and jump between things too much, it can also be a bit difficult for your brain to retain as well. Like there are limitations that we have, and we shouldn't expect superhuman ability from ourselves. So if you're not a language student in university, if you are some other students or working in a completely different field that requires you to know and remember and memorize a lot of things, if you have a presentation tomorrow, if you have something that you need to commit to memory, don't try to also memorize something else for language on the same day. You know, let the focus be what you need to do, to first and foremost for your bigger obligation. Then do make that day the I'm watching TV or I'm listening to a podcast day. And then on another day when you don't have something you need to memorize for university or something like that, that's when you should have a session and prioritize language and say, no, school can wait for another day. I don't need to feel bad that I didn't do both of them today. School can wait because I will give it the correct attention when it's time for school, and I'll give language the correct attention when it's time for language. So yeah, let everybody have their own time. Don't let them get jealous, you know?
I completely agree with you said, Ray, and I think like this way of like how to say, especially when you're a university student or just a student in general, you can study all the time, right? There's no like time like a job, let's say, that you have to be there from 9 to 5 or something like that. So it's good to compartmentalize, to put compartments in your time, in your life, in your week. So like for me, like for example, what I do is that I keep all my schoolwork during the school days. So I will never ever do homework on Saturday or Sunday. I will just do all my schoolwork only in the days that I have school. So from Monday to Friday in the afternoon, and I leave my evenings free. As you know, I have also study stream, so I also study languages a little bit in the afternoon. That's because my schoolwork doesn't take all those hours every day, fortunately. But if it does, like university schoolwork could be, I think it's good to like fill up some time, maybe during the week when you're already like in school mindset. I think it would be a good idea. Like, so it could be a good idea to not just attend your lecture and then do something else. Maybe like if you're in school mindset, it would be nice to revise your notes or study a little bit right after. Because I feel like when I was a university student, that was the easiest way to keep like my mind focused on the topic, for sure. Because it's hard if you get over it another time. You need to be like another time be like, I need to study this subject now, and you're like, you need to convince yourself to do that in a way. Otherwise, like if you're already in the mindset, it's easier. And depending on you could use nights to like evenings to study or not. Like if you are a night owl, maybe you could do that. I decided for my own health and well-being not to do that because I would work all the time, and that's not sustainable for me. So I just like try to keep dinner as a gate. So I know that after dinner, it's just relax time, entertainment time, do whatever way. I can do passive study if I want, but not more than that. And then like on the weekends, for example, when I have more time, for me Saturday is my day off, so I can decide how to use my time. If I don't have this kind of live stream, it's nice to like reserve some hours to as I was saying before, do some intensive study or like decide what I'm gonna do for the next week or something like that. And it's nice to have a more relaxed time, like when I don't have to worry about schoolwork or any other, or Gladly Global, let's say, so I can just like put all of my energies just thinking about that, and I feel way more relaxed like that. So I compartmentalization. How do you say that?
Compartmentalizing.
Yeah,
compartmentalizing.
Compartmentalizing, I think, is very, very important. Yay, I didn't.
Yes. Good job.
Wonderful.
Yes, and Jazz said that she does something similar, always making sure that she has the weekend or at least one day a week to do whatever and avoid burnout. Like, which also shows to each their own, because I'm a little bit more similar to Anna in the sense where I don't like taking weekends. I mean, also, you know that Sunday is Gladly Global Day, right? So
Yes.
a Sunday means Gladly Global.
Officially.
It is synonymous. On Sundays, we talk about Gladly Global. So, but for me, I actually feel that if I take a whole day or 2 days off to not do my routine, then I almost get depressed every Monday morning, going, oh my god, I have to be this person again. Who was this person? I don't remember who they are. Like, how did they do all of this? How did they manage all of this? I can't manage all of this, and I get very stressed feeling that. So instead, I need to have some kind of consistent work, consistent routines every single day. But like Anna said, I also have a mark. I stop working at 8 p.m. I do not work after 8 p.m. unless I have like super motivation burst to do something, and even then I try to stop myself at 10 and not do any more than that, because otherwise I will ruin my motivation for the next day because I overdo it. And so I try to not work so much in the middle of the day. So for me, as a morning person, so a little bit different from Anna, but I wake up very early, and that's my most productive time. After that, the middle of the day, I let myself be very lazy and decide if I want to work like choco little bit by little on something or not at all. And then in the evening, I have one more like 3-hour kind of space between 4 and 7 when we have live streams, that I also get focused again and I study or do some work. And then I have like a little bit of time just to gather my bearings. Okay, did I do everything? What did I miss? What should I do tomorrow? And then I don't do anything and I relax, and that's my relaxed time every day, middle of the day and end of the day. So everybody's different. Some people really need their weekend or their day. Well, I can't do that. I've tried for a long time, because that's usually the advice, that take a day off, don't work every day. And so I would do that, and then every Monday I'm like
no, I get that. I get that like 100%. I think when you take a day off, like it's nice, of course, but then like it's because you really need to get away from everything, because maybe you just have a burnout or something like that. But as like a routine, like a weekly routine, I think it's nice to keep yourself doing at least something. And especially if you have a lot of time, it's not too hard to find that time, Actually, no, I will say this in the video that's gonna come out, but for me it's almost harder to do stuff when I have a lot of time. Because I feel, I have time, I can do whenever I want. So that's also why it's very important to set time for things, I think, because you will know, okay, I don't know, it's morning, I do this, or like it's dinner time, I do this other thing, Otherwise you're just gonna be like, I will do it later, and then maybe life happens and you don't do it.
Pushing it back, and everything just spirals.
Yeah, and I think we should say that a break outside is also different from a break of like vegetating, because like a vegetating break can like make me want to just vegetate for the rest of my life. But a walk, but like going outside for like a day, or like I don't know, just going for a walk or sitting and journaling outside, this is different. This will also help me to be more motivated the next day. So it's just that in Corona I don't do this as often as I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, can we read a little bit of what people wrote? Let's see. Luis says, I started this year setting myself the goal to learn 5 to 10 words a day for my Korean grammar news book and reviewing them. After January, I lost my streak due to a lot of work and didn't come back on track since. This is a mood. This is a whole mood, Luis. I think Just also says I do something similar. I always make sure I have the no, sorry, these are different things. So let me just answer to Louise first. These are very mood and that very no, how do you say that? This is a whole mood. But as I was saying before, like the 2 days rule, as I said, life happens, right? This shouldn't this shouldn't like keep us from being the best that we can be in a way. So streaks, I hate streaks. Okay, can we start a petition to like for hating streaks? We have no streaks society, like for real. Like it's good to want to be consistent, but I saw too many times in my life and other people's life how this, like as soon as you don't fulfill your
break the streak.
You break the streak, you're just like you stop doing it, like completely.
You give up.
Because if it's not the streak, then what's the point? And that's not the thing. That shouldn't be like that.
You're not studying because of the streak. The streak is a benefit of studying. You're studying for the information. It's like but it can be difficult.
I would say, like, instead of thinking about streak like that, just think about like I want, like, setting goals is also important in that way. Be like, okay, I want to learn 7 words a day, for example. Okay, yesterday I couldn't do it. So, you know what? Like, I'm gonna study 10 words today because I didn't manage to do 7 yesterday. So I'll do a little bit more. Not like, sorry, I'm muted, but...
I cannot hear you at all.
Now you can.
Now you're back.
I don't know why.
I'm sure as long as they heard you. So.
Yeah, no, they can hear me all the time. Don't worry.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, so like yesterday I couldn't do it. Today I'm gonna do just a little bit more. I'm not gonna do double the work because that's maybe unsustainable for you. So just be like, you know what? I'm gonna do just a little bit more so I can feel better maybe about yesterday. And that's not like, that should be enough for you. You shouldn't be worried about your streak, or even if like I got the worst week, I couldn't do anything, I was depressed, I was on my period, there was like I couldn't do really anything, like work was incredible, I couldn't. And like on the weekend, you're like, you know what? Now I have some time, so let's try to recover a little bit the work that I didn't do during the week. That doesn't mean that you have to do all the work that you didn't do during the week, because that's 5 days, right? So just like find a balance, like make a pact with yourself, make an agreement with yourself, and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit more, but I'm not gonna overwork myself for it. Otherwise you won't really feel motivated to do it, you know. But just be like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more. So I am fine with myself, you know. I think that's a good thing. Yes.
I think declaring that is also really good. Like declaring it for yourself, because you might say in your mind that that's what you're doing, but actually you're still attaching these kind of like disappointment feelings and to it. So if you say out loud, or if you really say, okay, if I do half an hour more, that counts as a makeup for yesterday. If you actually declare that and make it a thing, say it out loud, then it becomes more real than if you just say that, that's something that I'm going to try to change my mindset for. If you actually like say it out loud, it makes it
real.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also have like emergency plan. If you're the kind of person that needs to have structure like that, like it could be a good idea to have emergency plan. I couldn't study one day. The rule when I can't study one day is the next day to study this other thing or whatever, or like on the weekend to do this, or like to listen to a podcast while I do something else, you know. Like it could be, if you need structure like that, it could mean a lot to have this kind of plan whenever life happens, right? Yes. And I just wrote like 1,000 minutes ago. I do something similar. I always make sure I have the weekend, or at least one day a week if things are super busy, set aside to relax and do whatever I want to avoid burnout. I think that's nice. Yes, we talked about this, and it's good approach for sure. And Tanya Chan said, I learned something from 𝕚𝕚𝕣𝕚 in that regard, the 2-day rule. Yeah, we were talking about this. Exactly. That's what the video was talking about. With habits, he allows himself break days, but pays attention to not having more than one break day in a row to keep the routine. Yes, that's like the thing that is making rules for yourself. It shouldn't be a now I'm gonna say my favorite word, a pre-cooked rule, pre-cooked thing, habit thing. We use this in Italian. I don't know if you can say it in English, like pre-cooked, it's ready-made. Ready-made.
Predefined. We say it in English. Predefined. But yeah, that's great. Ready-made rule.
Ready-made rule, yeah. It shouldn't be something like that.
You can't get your rules at McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean, you could, like, if you're clueless, of course you can get like advice like that. Take something that somebody else says and try it for yourself, see if it works. But it's very important to be flexible. We were saying it at the beginning, so just like be honest with yourself. Is this working for me? Am I actually feeling good about it or not? You know, after 1 week that you tried it, what didn't work? Like think about, reflect on the fact, what didn't work, what did work, what could I change? Like, I guess this is very all the things to keep in mind.
Most definitely the whole idea about being honest with yourself. Like, for example, the whole 2-day rule. I love 𝕚𝕚𝕣𝕚𝕚. He's one of my favorite YouTubers as well, although I haven't been watching him that recently. But still, the 2-day rule doesn't fully work for me, because honestly, after 1 day, I have tried. If I screw up 1 day, it's over. I screwed up. I'm So I have to, like, as much as I tell myself, yes, it's okay, 2 days, but not more than 2 days. There's always like a period of me having to rework after that one, and it's me being honest with myself. And so for me, like, my rule is usually more, even if you do 5 minutes of it, check it off the list. This is the rule that I use, so that I don't feel like I didn't do it. So on the day, if I realize I'm not gonna do it, I will do it for like even a few seconds. I'd be like, look, I did it, guess I just have to do it longer tomorrow. Like that. So it's about really knowing yourself and using your own personal psychology to work with yourself. Don't like just accept it the way it is. Try to work with what you've got.
Yes.
That's good advice.
For sure. Luis said, how is it in Italian? Pre-cooked is precotto. It's my favorite word in Italian. Precotto. Precotto, yes.
Someone asked in the server recently, if you're not in the Gladly Global server, you should.
What are you doing? Really
fun.
Come over.
We're
there waiting for you.
It's so fun. It's so fun, like, there's so many different kinds of language learners, people from all over the world who they have a cool, fun loving attitude. We have such a nice synergy, community energy, wholesome energy in our server. It's not all about productivity. I've been to a few other language servers. They tend to be very nitty-gritty focused and not community focused, and so I feel like it's just so pleasant to be in our server, because we're helping and supportive. And I'm not just saying that because it's our server.
If you don't believe us, come over and look by yourself.
See it for yourself.
Exactly. And then you can see the full list of everyone's favorite words, because it wasn't us, actually. Another member in the server asked just randomly, guys, what is your favorite words in your native language? And we all decided to say one. So that's the only reason why I could decipher what Anna was saying a second ago, because she mentioned it in the server earlier this week. For me, my favorite word was 𝕚𝕚𝕚, which is what happened to you? Yeah, what happened to you, or like what's going on. So yeah, Anna could be like staring at her homework, like, and I would be like, 𝕚𝕚𝕚. Right? And I just love how it sounds.
Yeah, it's so condensed.
No, sorry. It's a good expression.
Mhm.
Good job, Jamaica. I can't even decide on my favorite word because I'm so detached from my native language. It's a shame.
Think there are so
Oh
many
my
funny
God.
words. My favorite Swedish word
But it's
is
gonna be dirty if I just think like that. Then it's gonna be
Okay.
like, yeah.
my favorite Swedish word is krångel.
What is
My
that?
favorite Swedish krångel means like something that's complicated and like mixed up and like annoying. So I like the word because it sounds like a crank, sort of like it's cranky, mixed up. So yeah, it's like a krångel. Krångligt.
Oh my
This
God.
is so krångligt. I love it. It's
Yeah.
sweet.
I think the majority of my favorite Swedish words might be swears
Oh.
because they're so
I see.
creative. They're so unique.
Yeah.
My favorite word in Japanese is daijobu because it makes me feel like everything is actually daijobu.
What? I hate the word daijobu.
No, it's
I
so
hate it.
it means
Least favorite
okay.
Word. Yes, but daijobu in kanji means big husband.
That's
So
because you
daijobu-
come from Mandarin. That's not.
Yeah, no, but it is the meaning in Japanese. Like they took it because it's sexist history. Like
Nah.
oh, you know, if you are
Ray.
man husband stable,
Ray,
then you are daijobu.
Ray. Ray. Roses are red. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Everything's gonna be daijobu. Give me an applause, please.
You
Give
can
me an
go to your own
applause.
bad
Okay, I'm
jokes.
gonna put
Yeah.
my cringe glasses. Sorry, I'm gonna cringe. For my bad jokes. Anyways, no, I was just saying I'm gonna publish this video on YouTube about how I schedule my things. Of course, like it depends on the person. You shouldn't take that as like a recipe for what you're doing. But I'm gonna give you a little bit of a taste of what I'm gonna say. So basically, I compartmentalizing. So I decide. So Ray was saying if I do even 5 minutes, it's fine, right? I like instead the 2 days rule because for me, like I have macro categories of what I do in my life. So there's gonna be school, there's gonna be language learning, there's gonna be gladly global and other things that I do. I do music, for example. And like I decided for experience to do only 2 macro categories of this every day. So if I have like a very important schoolwork, I'm gonna do school. If I have to do something for gladly global, I'm gonna do gladly global. And that means that I'm gonna just concentrate on those 2 and like take a break from the other ones, because otherwise I'm gonna be overwhelmed because it's too much. So basically
I should say.
yes,
I should say this is called theming in
Theming.
productivity space.
All right.
It's awesome.
theming, right?
Yeah.
And so I decide because time, like we only have thought hours every day to do what we want to do, right? We cannot pretend to like stay up all night doing all the things that we want to do. So I think this is also a good approach. If you want to do more in depth, look at the YouTube video that I'm gonna publish on Thursday. I think it's gonna be very nice. Yes.
Yes.
It's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. Does anybody in the chat? Yeah. Does anybody in the chat have any inputs to give, like any kind of thought that you have maybe after all?
Last fire round.
Yeah. Do you have
Yeah,
any
quick fire,
questions? Even if it's not related to this topic specifically, it's fine. Fire your shots. We say that in Italian. It doesn't work in English. Pew, pew, pew,
No,
pew.
it does. It works.
It works.
It works.
Fire your shots.
Yes.
Fire your shots. And after that question time, I think it's gonna be. We're gonna end stream later. So yeah, but I think it's been a very good talk, right? I love talking about this. I always learn something new, for real.
Yes. And you know, one of the things that we pride ourselves here at Gladly Global is that because we are a team, because we are a group of 3 people here on the YouTube channel, but also a wider team behind the scenes, we have a lot of different types of learners from different backgrounds. And so, yeah, you know, we know and acknowledge here when we have these conversations that there is no one size fit all, like it does not exist. And so, you know, when you go to these videos, you have to think about that, because if it's one person on one channel, then
it's one perspective.
It's one perspective, and sometimes they don't have that caveats as much. And I should introduce to you guys that Elmo is the immersion buff
specialist.
This immersion buff loves that. Anna is the textbook
academic
kind of academic style studier. And then I'm the hacker, the language hacker sort of, when it comes to that, and the communication person. Verbal fluency is my thing. And so this each person has a different space of language that they enjoy more, and a very different way of approaching it. So when we have these discussions, you know, it's coming from a lot of different angles.
It is. We're giving you a nice smorgasbord of approaches to language learning.
Yes.
That's how you actually
I don't know what that means, but I know the smorgas is...
Smorgasbord.
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 If Anna has never heard this word before, it's actually English expression as well. It means sandwich. It means like a buffet.
Okay, I heard smorgas. I was like, is that sandwich?
Yes, exactly.
Yay.
Sandwich table.
Sandwich table. Which is like originally Swedish concept, but we also say it in English as an English word. And so, but yeah, like I didn't know that was Swedish originally. I just thought it was something. I don't know what I thought it was. It was a word to me. Yeah, let's see. Zana says, well, I'll just say the GG server is a whole community of the best people ever. I found back my motivation to study languages again, and I'm proud of the amount of stuff I've accomplished so far. Zana, thank you so much for saying that.
Sending love.
That's one of the that's one of the things that we are so into in our server, is that we know everybody by name, we celebrate each other's birthdays, we hang out. You know, the server is not just about work, although we are very, you know, trying to hold you accountable as well. So even you can even tag us and be like, hey Ray, I'm having a terrible weekend and I can't feel to study. Will you just jump into the server with me? And most likely, if we have a little time, we'll jump in even for your first session or something like that. So it is a very supportive space. Tanya, thank you for your thoughts on that topic. No further questions. Too tired to think of questions. Sorry, I read it in the wrong order. That's fine, Tanya. Thank you so much for being here and interacting with us.
Yes, thank you for your input.
Dem, hello. Hi, Dem. You're a little late, but it's okay. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes. There's gonna be, we're gonna upload the replay of this live stream on the YouTube channel, so you can rewatch it all the time. It's not gonna be hidden or anything, so don't worry about that. You can rewatch it there.
Yes, Michelle, I have to try both the 2-day rule and the do a little every day to get a feel of what works for me. Yes, Michelle,
yes. That's
test
the
it
most
out.
important thing, is that you test different things.
Yeah, and actually using them together also can help as well, because like I do acknowledge the idea of the 2-day rule, where I try not to let something go off for a long time if it does go off. But you know, it's just that I tend to lean towards the 5-day one more, because also I can't remember. Sometimes I blink and I think, oh no, it's only been 1 or 2 days, but then actually it's been 2 weeks, and I'm like
that's relatable.
So sometimes sometimes the 5-minute thing works better for me. Louis, yes, thanks. I just joined the Discord channel.
Amazing!
Welcome to the GG community. Yay!
Amazing. We love that.
Don't forget to introduce yourself in the Discord.
Yes, we'll see you around, my friends.
We have
Zana, the pandemic.
Sorry, the link is in the description if you're wondering to join the Discord server. Yeah. And even if you never had Discord before, don't worry, just create an account and we can help you out with the basic things. So don't worry don't be worried about asking how to use things. Like, everybody's gonna help you. Don't worry about that. And come
nice moderator too.
Yes, I am the tech girl. Yes. I can help you with everything.
Correct.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Zana said, the pandemic has really been hard. Although I never felt like I've personally been affected as much as some others, I lost my will to get anything done. And having a community of such amazing, productive people has helped a lot.
Oh,
thank you so much, Zana. I think it's not only you guys, but also for us. We started this community also with similar feelings. And before we had the Discord, we were trying to do that amongst ourselves with like small groups of 5 or 6 people. But it's hard to even find those groups, and also it's a lot of pressure on only 5 or 6 people to show up every time. And so having the Discord server means somebody will be there. Somebody is always there, even if it's not us, if it's someone else.
Exactly.
The server, the community it doesn't put the pressure on any one person to be there all the time, but it also gives you the sense of security that, hey, if you're feeling low on motivation, you can go there. You can find somebody who's also there to lend support and energy.
Yeah, because we have members from all over the world. So basically, no matter where you live or what time it is, there's practically always someone there to help you stay accountable. And if you're feeling lonely and need someone to study with.
Definitely. Yes. All right, guys, I think it's gonna be it for today. Sending a lot of love from all the Glider Global team, and as we said, we're everywhere. Like, whenever social you can think of, we're there. Probably just Facebook, we're not there a lot, but everything else: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course, and Discord,
LinkedIn,
and
Tumblr,
Twitch as well. You can follow our study streams. Personal study streams there, but you're gonna get all the links if you follow us around. And yes, so be sure to, like, I always say this in my streams, but like, be kind to everybody, but most importantly to yourself. Remember to have a healthy habit routine for your studies and for everything that you do in your life. I think that's the most important thing. The Discord link has expired. That shouldn't be happening, but I'm gonna send you one in chat if it's okay with you. Just as an emergency. Invite people, copy, and send.
Yeah, I think YouTube doesn't let it go. I did it.
Oh, okay. We can do that as well. Freak. Okay.
Yeah. It takes a little bit of time though anyway. Nightbot is a little bit slow, but it's okay.
I think that's because the stream also, like, not lag, but like there's a kind of
delay.
Lateness.
Yeah. I think it's YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube is terrible for this kind of things, like, for real. I can never get used to that. Alright, so anyways, yes, so that's gonna be it for today, right, Ray? Unless you want to say
yes, that's it. I will just make a little bit of an outro then, if you're okay, Anna. So thank you so much for coming. Actually, let me pick up my mic. Thank you so much for coming today to our Polyglot Talk that we do every first Saturday of the month. So every first Saturday, not including this month, but usually every first Saturday, we have this Polyglot Talk where we choose a topic, and you can also suggest topics for us anywhere you can find us. And what to say today, Anna is having a special fun stream on the Twitch.
It's not very language related.
No, it's not very language related, but if you want to join and have fun and also find Anna's channel for the first time, you can go and follow her on Twitch, as well as myself and soon to be Elmo, so you can look out for the links. We do study streams almost every day of the week at this point of the weekdays.
We just alternate each other. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So find us on Twitch. See you in the Discord server, and don't forget that the Polyglot magazine is a thing, and if you don't have it, shame on you.
The Polyglot magazine. The magazine.
Polyglot magazine.
Polyglot
The
magazine.
magazine.
Ah, yes, exactly. Yes. You
So,
can find it on
check
our
out the magazine.
coffee page. So just type coffee, Kofi, Gladly Global, and you will find our page, or follow the link in the description. It helps us a lot. Thank you very much.
Have a lovely day, guys. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.